What's going on, Dividend Chasers? It's the Dividend Bloodhound here with another investing episode. In this episode we're going to talk about my Freetrade portfolio and the recent stock purchases that I've added to this portfolio. If this video brings you value, please hit that like button in the corner there to get this content out to more people and really help the channel. If you're brand new here, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and even rung the bell to get notified when I release new content. Right, absolutely into the video then. Today we're going to talk about my three most recent stock purchases and new additions to the portfolio: Starbucks, Nike and Disney. I made a separate video about Disney recently in the fact that I literally purchased it and then a couple of days later it cut its dividend. Personally, I don't really have a problem with this as long as the cut remains as suspension in the near to short to medium term, should I say, because I think this is for the good of the company and it's a good PR move. You can't really be paying investors a dividend when you've got 120,000 staff furloughed at home, either not earning any money or earning a reduced wage. It just doesn't really sit right. That being said, I think we should actually get straight in there and straight into having a look at these stocks because I'm really excited about having them in my portfolio, especially Starbucks. Let's get in there. What's going on again, guys? Welcome to the analysis part of this video. The first stock we're going to look at is Nike, and let's get straight into that now. So Nike, a stalwart of the fashion industry, been one of the most popular for a very long time in terms of sporting events and sporty looking clothes and the golfing section. I could go on and on and on with how far and what this company is used for in terms of men's physical training, American football, wrestling, volleyball, all of the works. But you know, everybody watching this video is probably owns or has owned a piece of Nike clothing or Nike equipment over the course of their lives. Anyway, that being said, into the actual analysis. So ticker is NKE. We have a market cap of 140 billion, a PE ratio of 36, revenue of 39.12 billion, EPS of $2.49, a dividend yield of 1%, that is growing, and a net income of $4 billion. Currently trading at $90 per share, has been down to a record low for the year of $63 and peaked at 104 not too long ago before the health crisis kicked off. It has been paying its dividend for an increase in dividend since 2010, so well over 10 years, and it has grown its dividend over the last 3 years of 11.87%, which is actually really quite decent growth in my opinion. One thing I would also go on to say is if you look at past performance, they've been on the increase and on the march for a very long time. And though this doesn't pay such a high yield, it is a growing yield over time. And I believe that holding on to Nike in the long term is actually something that will be really beneficial to my portfolio and is actually quite a good dividend growth stock to hold on to. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And it'll remain right at the very top end of sport for the foreseeable future and onwards from there. One of the real stalwart brands. I'll see you back out there. What's going on again, guys? Welcome back to the real world. So Nike was my first stock there, quite an unusual pick, my first actual fashion stock, so to speak. That I've actually owned, that I've actually purchased with my own money. I did get free shares in Under Armour at one stage, but I sold them because they don't pay a dividend. Nike's dividend is low, but it is growing and is consistently growing. and they're such a good company and such a well-known brand, it would be bad not to take advantage of that as a sector, as a small clothing sector / fashion sector in my portfolio. That being said, we're now going to talk about another super recognisable brand, and that is Starbucks. And I've been looking to get this one into my portfolio for a very long time, and now that I've finally got it, I'm very pleased with it, and it has got some serious potential for the future as well. That being said, let's get straight back in there. What's going on again, guys? Welcome back to the analysis. So now we're talking about Starbucks, ticker SBUX. An enormous and probably the world's most recognisable coffee brand. I really love a good Starbucks coffee, so I'm a bit of a Starbucks addict myself, which I sort of need to cut down on, so I would much prefer to buy Starbucks stock instead. Huge company, going global all the time, ever expanding, and I believe this stock has got some real potential to get well back to its peak share price and beyond in the near future, with potential further stock splits down the line to increase the amount of shares that you own. But that brand still stays valuable, a bit like Coca-Cola has over its 100-year history. It's been massively knocked by the health crisis, and at one stage was really down to the ultimate lows of like $50, $53, $56, which was an absolute bargain for this company. Anyway, I digress. Let's actually get into some of the fundamentals. So ticker, as I mentioned, was SBUX. Has a market cap of 90.98 billion, a PE ratio of 29.15, revenue of $26.41 billion, EPS of 2.67, a dividend, nice healthy dividend yield of 2.11, and has net income of 3.6 billion. This is all pre-health crisis, and a lot of these stores have been shut now in a lot of places for a very long time, though there is some green shoots in China where stores have reopened, and in the UK they're about to reopen drive-through only, so there is going to be some revenue coming back into the company, which is of course a really good sign. It's been paying a dividend since 2010, which is absolutely excellent. 10 years of paying dividends, and again is another really good dividend growth stock. So has grown its last 3 years dividend growth combined is 21.64%, which is absolutely excellent. This company has got some real potential going forward into the next 10, 20, 30 years for sure, definitely, in my opinion. Hello again, guys, welcome back. Starbucks then, absolutely brilliant company, like really going places, has been going places for an extended period of time now. However, that being said, I don't think it's done growing yet. I don't think the share price is done growing through its growth phase, and they haven't quite petered out yet. They're getting near to that peak pre all this health crisis, but I don't think they're done yet. And as to testament to this, I'll just mention that they recently signed off on a deal with Nestle to get Starbucks products packaged so you can actually buy them in the supermarket much easier. So you'll probably see the like filter coffees appearing in many supermarkets probably across the world, but I've noticed them definitely in the UK, and as well as like little plastic caramel little macchiato things that you can buy that are really delicious and high in sugar and quite expensive, but they seem to fly off the shelves. Whenever I've looked, they're gone, and that's just one little small example of two huge companies collaborating together to get some real leverage in the market. And I think some of the other companies like Costa, Caffè Nero are playing catch up with that. Interesting point about Costa actually here in the UK is it's actually owned by Coca-Cola, if you didn't know that. So me owning shares in Coca-Cola, I now own shares in both Starbucks and Costa, a huge part of the coffee industry, at least here in the UK. And then Starbucks even more globally than that. Last but not least, it's the stock that I talked about at the start. I did a brand new video on it not so long ago when it cut its dividends, but we will speak about Disney next, so I'll catch you right back in there. What's going on again, guys? Welcome back in for the third time and the third and final stock. As said, we were talking about Disney, the recent dividend cutter. Cut its dividend basically to preserve cash, but also to, even though the balance sheet actually didn't look too bad, and I don't think they felt too comfortable with paying in investors a dividend payout when they had like well over 120,000 of their employees stuck at home, either not being paid or being paid a reduced wage. So yeah, dividend is suspended in the medium term for at least the next 6 months. Maybe they'll pay out again at the end of the year, but who knows? I'm not entirely sure just yet. It seems logical if they reopen the parks back up, but as with all things, this crisis is fast moving, so we don't really 100% know. Anyway, back into the fundamentals. So Walt Disney, ticker is DIS, has a market cap of 197 billion, PE ratio of 21.78, revenue of 69.57 billion, EPS of $5.01 per share. Dividend yield was 1.67% before the suspension, so we'll wait and see what it returns as. And they had a net income of 11.05 billion. Currently trading at $107 a share, just turned 108 live market and all. Has been down to $86 a share, and to be fair, the announcement of a dividend suspension didn't actually knock the share price that much. It knocked it down from about 108 where it was, and it just dipped back under 100 temporarily, just down to 99, 98, and then it bounced back straight over 100 again straight away. But basically in the last year it has peaked at $152 a share, which is a really decent margin once all said and done we get our way through. Yes, the theme parks are shut, but Disney has a diverse revenue stream and has just fired up Disney Plus, which involves Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, all the old Disney films as well, and Nat Geo, all in one place, and they raced to 50 million subscribers super quickly, and it took Netflix well over 18 months to get there. To put it into perspective, Disney got there in a matter of a few weeks, and yet but to put that into further perspective, Netflix now has 180 million subscribers, but they only have that revenue stream. That is all they do. They make the films, they make this TV series, and they put them on Netflix, but that's it. They don't have theme parks, they don't have the shops that Disney has, and they don't have all that diversification. They've had been paying their dividends for the last few years, and had a 3-year dividend growth rate at 7.42%, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen to this now, whether they reinstate the dividend and pay up, like sort of back pay, increase the dividend to back pay what investors lost, or whether they just implement exactly what it was again when they bring it back, and that we'll just have to wait and see on. But it hasn't put me off investing in Disney. I will always add more of this company. It certainly isn't going anywhere. It just churns out the films left, right and centre, churns out the entertainment, which is vitally important, as is proven, and pumps up some really good numbers in doing so. So I've got no problem in owning this stock at all. That being said, that wraps us up for this bit. I'll see you back in the real world. What's going on again, guys? Welcome back to the real world, and for the final time in this video at least, we are done there really. Disney is in my portfolio, and it's in my portfolio to stay. I've no plans on selling out of it, even with the dividend suspension. Already explained my reasoning for that. It's in the other video as well. Thank you very much again for sticking around to the end of this video. I really appreciate the watch time. It's absolutely vital for my channel at the moment to take it to the next level and get my content out to more people. If you've watched to the end, thank you so much. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. I imagine if you've watched this long, you probably would have. And if you're brand new here, why not hit that subscribe button and tick the notification bell so you can be notified of when my new content goes live. I bring videos as often as I can, at least every couple of days or so. So that being said, thanks again guys, and I'll see you in the very next video. Goodbye.